afternoon. My name is Felita Kealing. I am the Assistant Coordinator of Marketing and Student Recruitment and Community Relations for Marshall Fundamental School. And I'd like to welcome all of you guys here today. And this is official and unofficial as part of this interview regarding the film called But Not Forever. Is that correct title? But I want to start with you, Mr. Chen, Joshua Chen, and I want you to introduce yourself and tell me something about you, please.
Okay. Again, my name is Joshua Chen, and I am the founder of Axia Project. We are a nonprofit that just wants to launch students to a bright future and expose them to opportunities they may not have had otherwise, and to broaden horizons.
Well, thank you. And before we talk about the film, I'm looking at the grid, and I noticed they're all class of 2020 seniors, our Marshall Fundamental class of 2020 graduates. So I want to start, and I want to ask you guys, at least at this time, your name and then what your college plans are for next year. And based on the order I see them on my screen, I'm going to ask Millie Root to go first.
Okay. I'm Millie Root. I'm going to UC San Diego, and we have to say what we're majoring in, or?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And I'm majoring in visual arts media.
Okay, and then Vanessa De La Cruz, unmute and please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I will be going to UCLA this fall, and I'm majoring in biology.
Okay, Samantha Luang, please.
Hi, my name is Samantha, and I'm going to UC Riverside, and my major is theater, film, and digital production.
Wow. Okay, Martha Mukundi.
Hi, I'm Martha. I'm going to USC, and I'll be majoring in psychology pre-med track.
Nice. And Vianney, please.
My name is Vianney Hermosillo, and I will be going to California State University, Northridge in the fall. And I will be majoring in cinema and television arts with an emphasis in television production.
Nice. Okay, Steve Amador.
My name is Steven. I'll be going to Cal State Chico, and I'll be majoring in journalism.
Prince Takano.
Hi, my name is Prince Takano. In this fall, I'll be at Princeton University studying public affairs and getting a certificate in music composition.
And Capolo, the screenwriter.
My name is Capolo Kukia, and I'm going to Cal Poly Pomona as a business administration major with an emphasis on marketing management.
Great. So based on that, I noticed several of you guys are actually interested in theater and visual arts. And so based on that, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question first about your career choices, and then more directly about the film. So Millie, you said you're going to visual arts, and is that one of the reasons you got involved with this production?
It was kind of the other way around. I kind of got involved with the film program, and that kind of motivated me to go into media.
Nice. And then journalism, that was you, Stephen, right? So what's your connection?
Well, I joined the film program the first year, the year it was created. You actually recommended me to join. So I think, well, my interest in journalism was there before I joined, but yeah.
And then, my apologies, Samantha, what was your major? It's connected, right?
Yeah, theater, film, and digital production.
Okay. So which one came first, the production or your interest?
Actually, I've always kind of been interested in acting and just like performing in general. So then my friends introduced me to the film program, and I actually had a really great time. So that sparked even more for me.
Okay, speaking of actresses, so Vanessa, I did not know you had some acting, and I love the battle. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But Vanessa, so how did you get involved with this production?
So I actually got involved because of VNA. So I noticed that she had been talking about it, and I was like, oh, like it seems really fun. Like she seemed to be really enjoying it. And in 9th grade, we had actually done like a film for our English class. So then I decided to join, and I think it was the greatest idea ever.
Okay, and then Vianney, how did you get involved in this production?
Well, I actually learned about the film they were going to make through an Instagram story that Steven posted, and it mentioned that they were looking for actors for a short film. And me personally, I've always loved acting and anything that involves film or theater. So I DM'd Steven and I told him that I was interested, and he gave me more information, and I started going every Wednesday to the meetings, and that's how I became involved.
Okay, and so I'm going to go to Martha, and then I'm going to come back to Prince, and then Capolo. But Martha, so the thing is, you're a pre-med major. So how did you kind of get involved with this, and how did that like connect to everything else you're doing?
So to be honest, like ninth grade, so Capolo and I stayed after school a lot, and we didn't have like a lot of things to do that were like productive. And so then I remember Steven coming in, and he was like, there was a club, they're asking for members, and he was like, oh, they also offer snacks. And I was like, oh, snacks, that'll be pretty cool, free snacks, and we get to like learn about something. And so, sorry about that. And so then initially we were intrigued by the snacks, but then we stayed there longer, and then we naturally grew to love the club. But yeah.
Okay, the snacks were good. That was part of the production. So Prince, the thing is, I'm going to tell you that I got the opportunity to view the film before it went out, but not before I wrote the press release. Or I didn't write the press release before I submitted the press release because the students wrote it. But I was so impressed that you composed the music for the production, and I was so impressed that there was music and it was original music. So tell me about that. How did that work out? How did you get involved?
So one day, Mr. Carafone approached me, and he knew I had interest in film scoring, and particularly in music composition. So he approached me saying, "Hey, there's this film club going on, and they might need some music for their latest film. So maybe you could talk to Joshua." So I got in contact with Joshua. I remember that the first time we met, I was really interested in in the film. And then I was invited to the first meeting. I took a look at the script. And then it was really interesting to see how the story developed and how the whole team went from rehearsing the script to producing something on camera. And what I did was I took the contents of the film and I thought of what sort of music could best fit that mood. And I just tried my best to represent the characteristics of the film through music. So there's a sad piano part at the end, but it's not too sad. It's sort of optimistic in nature. And then in the flashback scene, you have this bubbly kind of music that's representative of the happy memories. So I really just tried to associate the visual images and the narrative behind the film with the music.
Okay, so now we're going to come to our script writer. So Capolo, I think there was a total, Josh, if I'm not mistaken, there were a total of 8, were there 8 scripts that were written total? Was that correct? Do you remember?
Yeah, I believe there's like 8, between 8 and 10. I can't remember, but yeah, up there.
Okay, so we had 8 to 10 screenwriters, and your script was selected. So tell us about the process of writing your script. So I'm going to ask you first. Just you go ahead and go, then I'll come up with additional questions. But just tell us about the process. Go.
I actually got the idea for it before the class officially started, because when we made our first film, we had like a showing for it at school, and they had informed us of some ideas they were throwing around for the following school year. And when I really like writing, so when I found out we would be focusing on screenwriting, I started like throwing out ideas, like just I guess like in my head, and I'd like write them down. And then I thought of the plot for this film because I noticed a lot in my peers, like a lot of people were for some reason at the time talking about like what happened when they graduate, like losing their friends and everything, and how that'd be really sad, and how they want to like go to school together and do all these things. And in my opinion, I found it interesting in the sense that I didn't really see it as that sad, because to me it's just that's how life is. You probably won't be friends with the same people you're friends with in high school. You probably won't even contact them in the next few years. And I wanted to talk about that a bit. So I got the idea for the story, and it fit really well in that I made it so we wouldn't have to shoot anything off campus, because I figured with our previous zero budget, it'd probably be more easier to have a story centered around students on school. So all of the locations were chosen with that in mind as well.
So within your writing process, you kind of had, like, I guess based on what you're saying, you kind of already had some ideas of, if I write this, we can do this in the north, you know, in the North Quad, or we can do it on the stairs. Is that what you're saying? Like, you kind of thought about places as you continue to write. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the title, did you come up with the title, or was that a collective? Was that everyone together?
So the funny thing about the title is, when we were submitting our scripts on the very last day of class, I didn't even realize it. They had to point it out to me. I never came up with a title at all. So even after printing it, I never realized it. And they were like, you have to name it. And so I don't know where the original copy of the script is, but if you see it, it's literally like crossed out, like, oh, film script. And then it's just like, and then we were like trying to come up with titles. And then we finally decided, oh, let's take one of the last lines from the film. And then we decided to use it. So that's
I think that I'm going to tell you, that's awesome, because it's pretty creative. Because that's like, oh, there goes the, personally, when I look at films, I wait for the line or when it's used. So I kind of like, I said, oh, there it goes, but not forever. So actually the line was in the script, and then you decided to use it in the title. That's pretty creative. So what was your favorite parts about the script, Capola?
in terms of like story-wise, or like, sorry.
No, you actually, you can decide. Let's say story-wise. Let's go with that.
I actually really like the last few scenes. I made it really hard for the actors. Actually, I didn't realize this until we actually started filming. I put in like a ton of lines. Like, it's a lot to memorize, but luckily everyone was able to do this successfully. But I think those are probably my favorite scenes. It's when they're talking about their friendship and why exactly everything went wrong. Because to me, that was all my basic opinions on the matter, just on the page or on the screen. And so I'd say that's probably my favorite part out of the entire script.
Okay, so Vianney, so you're one of the primary actresses, and you had a battle with your friend Vanessa. So tell me about that. How'd you feel about acting, and were there other kids watching, or how'd you feel about people watching you act?
Well, at first, I was a little nervous, but we were also seniors, so I knew them, so it wasn't too bad. But like, battling with Vanessa was a little challenging at first, because she is one of my closest friends, and we've never fought before, like ever, and we've never yelled at each other or anything. So like, just being in that, like, on set and thinking about that, like, it made it a little, awkward at first, and it was a little like funny, but like, that's what made it challenging, because she is very close to me, and it was a challenge, but we managed to pull it off. And while we were doing this scene, like, it was really fun. It was really fun, and getting into character and being Alex and getting mad at Leo, like, it was very fun.
And Samantha, you had a primary role in this production. So tell me, how did you feel about that? You need to make sure you unmute before you start talking.
It was really fun. It was a little overwhelming at first because I was like, wow, I need to memorize all these lines. But in the end, it was a good outcome. And I think it made it a lot easier that my friends were the people who I was acting with. So like, we understood how we worked with each other. So that's what really helped me get the script right.
So Millie, you were not on film, but I know you were involved. So tell me, what was tell me, what were your roles as part of this production of But Not Forever?
So what's great about like being in the crew is that we kind of got a taste of everything that goes into the filmmaking process. So we kind of started out doing everything from like costumes to sound to like storyboarding. And then as the film went on, we kind of got into our own little niches in the crew. So I kind of ended up being like a cameraman slash director, which was really fun because it was the first time I got to work with like real camera equipment. Thank you, Josh, for setting that up for us. So that was fun to kind of like take the words that Coppola wrote and visualize them and then kind of have that throughout the film. So that was a really fun part. Yeah.
Okay, and Martha, you were also behind the scene because I didn't see you. So tell me, what was at least one of your roles on film, on the production of But Not Forever?
Well, actually, this year, like one of my biggest regrets was not participating as much because tennis season was right smack in the middle of filming. So on days that I was able to like get out of tennis and like participate in filming, I did the sound boom. And well, I'm like a pretty short person, so you can just imagine me trying to like basically stretch out my arms and hold out the sound boom for like, well, it wasn't for that long, but still, just being able to participate in that small part, I'm glad that I was able to do so.
Okay, so Vanessa, I'm going to ask you a different question. So what was the production experience like for you?
Well, for me, it was like the first time I ever acted in something like this. So I was very nervous, but I think everyone was very supportive along the way. And like they gave me really helpful tips. And overall, it was really fun. A lot of the scenes were hard to film because we couldn't stop laughing. But I think in the end, it turned out really nice.
So Stephen, I know you to be a very nice person. And in the film, you had actually Cole is joining us now. But in the film, you had a part where you said something that was kind of mean. So I think you're a really good actor because I said that's not the Stephen I know. So how did you feel about the acting part? And then in addition to acting, what additionally did you do on the film, But Not Forever?
I thought it was, I guess, kind of difficult or just weird. It's like acting mean because I'm not really like that. I guess I'm kind of quiet. I don't know, calm. So like acting like a bully towards Cole was different. But it was fun, you know, trying to get out of my comfort zone. So yeah. And as for the production, one of the things I did was I also directed a scene. I also thought this was kind of challenging because I'm a pretty indecisive person. Like I don't know what I want, so I thought it was pretty difficult, like having to direct and like yeah.
So Cole, well, welcome. And you know, we're being recorded, just so you know. So could you please introduce yourself and tell us about what your plans are for next year?
Hi, my name is Cole Brown. Um, my plans for next year are to graduate high school, get into a college, preferably UCLA, and make lots of music. Yep.
Okay. So basically, okay, so well, thank you. And so next, let me see. So Prince, I just have some more questions about the scoring of the film. So like can I say, do you know, can you quantitatively tell me how long it took you to actually film, I mean not film, but to kind of come up with this come up with the score for the film?
So what took the longest really was trying to decipher what type of music would fit. There's different types of music. You can have like slow piano, slow orchestra, fast electronic music, pop. Um, but this decision really came when I saw the actual contents of the film. And when I knew what to do precisely, when I saw the actual film, it came pretty quickly. So once I decided that I would do some sort of pop EDM kind of feel, it didn't take too long to write the score. The piano part is actually an extension of the sort of more bubbly music you hear in the beginning. I use the exact same chords to evoke the same themes. So basically, the piano part was a little bit easier and quicker than coming up with the other music because it was based off each other. So the whole process overall, recording took about an hour, I would say. Planning took much more than that, several times more than that. But considering the relatively short length of the film, it wasn't like I had to like produce like an hour of content like some film score composers do. They have to produce hours of music. So it wasn't too time consuming for sure.
Okay, so Cole, I'd like to ask you, so what did you find challenging about acting in the film? You're gonna have to unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, so, I think the most challenging was for the scene that you guys are talking about with Steven, where it was like the bullying scene. It was really hard for me to get that to go to like an angry place, I guess, because I don't like being angry and I'm not that good at it. But yeah, and also like remembering lines. That was really hard for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
can I just say something about that scene?
Yes, please.
It was
yes.
really funny because you're exactly right about both like Steven and Cole. And what you don't see in that scene is that there's actually a longer cut to it where Cole retaliates. And we're like, trying to get Cole in that angry spot where his push looks like really aggressive, but he's just such a nice guy and he just couldn't do it. And then Steven's like playing this really cool guy bully, which I thought was brilliant. And I really enjoyed that scene. And I think the little, I don't know, well, maybe it was just a running joke for myself, but we would say to each other that was our favorite scene, and we'd say things like, you're nothing, but we didn't mean that to each other, but it was just pulled out of the script and the dialogue. So well done everybody.
Yeah, so Capola, let me ask you, so when you saw the final product of the film, what part did you go, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about? Or were there any parts like that? Or a part where you said, oh my God, I didn't think it was gonna come out like that? One of the two extremes.
I feel like for the most part, I think it didn't really necessarily match my original expectations because obviously your original idea is going to be very different from the final product, especially after so much editing that we did. So I didn't necessarily have a big moment where I was like, this is it, right? But there were scenes where I did like the direction that we turned to instead of the original direction we took. Like, for example, Cole and Steven's fighting scene, because they're such like nice and like chill people, I think it was really nice to see like how it came out to be. Like I was really happy with that cut, actually. I think out of all of them, like, I don't think there was necessarily like any like extreme end of reaction for me personally.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, because I know our time is running out. And Joshua, what I'm gonna ask you to do at the end, I wanna make sure we get thanks to all the mentors that supported this effort. So I'm going to make sure you have all their names ready, but I want you guys to go in about 30 seconds or so. Tell me about your favorite part of the film. We're going to start with Millie. Go.
I guess my favorite part of the film would have to be that scene that we keep talking about, because I know I was kind of a director on that scene and a camera person on that scene, and it was really fun to kind of like well, it was challenging because both Cole and Steven are like very relaxed people, but it was kind of fun seeing them get into that space. Like we would have them like run around and like do push-ups to like get hype and get excited. So it was really fun to kind of be out in the field and direct that scene and kind of move the cameras and get those really like, because there was a lot of movement in that scene. So it was really fun from like a camera person's perspective to get that.
Okay, and Samantha, how about you? What was your favorite part about the production?
My favorite part was just the experience in general. I've never been on an actual set before, so it was really exciting and new for me. Yeah, that was everything. I love it.
Okay, so Martha, I know you didn't get the full experience of being here, being a part of this production the entire time this year. So tell me, what was your, what did you like about being part of the film, the screenwriting, or any of the productions?
I think I really liked the idea that basically we wrote our own stories and then we all shared our stories and we like saw it develop. And then finally, you know, we picked a script which we then saw come to life. And I think that's not something that we often get to do, especially like at our age. And yeah, just seeing how like Capola's story evolved into this actual real thing. I think that was the best part of it all.
And Vianney, how about you? What was your part? What did you like about the production, your favorite part?
I liked everything like Samantha, but one of my favorite scenes was the fight scene between Steven and Cole because I did get to see the progress because at first it was really challenging for them, but they didn't manage to go further and really get into character and be the person they were supposed to be like in the script. So that was really nice to see from them.
Okay, and so Prince, you watched the film before you wrote the score. What was your favorite part about that? Or the film in general, you can decide.
I would say my favorite part was seeing how the audio, not just the music, but the audio and the film interlap. And just seeing the edited version was really fascinating because, as George Lucas has said, the director of Star Wars, audio is like 50% of the film. So it certainly the dialogue and the tone, like the fight tone, the way they're speaking, and the piano all goes together very well.
Okay, Stephen and then Cole. Go, Stephen.
I would have to say my favorite part was seeing the final cut. Just seeing like all of our hard work like go together was really satisfying. I know in one of the cuts, our fight scene wasn't in it, so I was kind of disappointed about that. But in the final cut, they added the scene back. So yeah, it was really it made me really happy seeing like all of our hard work, the music, and everything.
Okay, Cole, thank you, Stephen. Go right ahead, Cole. You have about 10 seconds. We have to make sure we get this Joshua's thank yous in. Go ahead, go right ahead, Cole. Your favorite part?
My favorite part was the ending. I really liked everybody when we all came together and we had that cute little hug. That was adorable.
Okay, Joshua, go before we get cut off. Go right ahead. Thanking all the people.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the mentors at Joke Adebesin, Melba Patron, and Samuel Lin for all their help and all their mentorship. They were just great. And then, you know, just the input, the feedback, their skills and experiences translated and passed on to the students. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you.
As we conclude, I just wanted to take time to thank you, Mr. Joshua Chin and Axia, for all the amazing work you've done. You've not only brought the production of, Not Forever, but you brought another perspective. You brought coding to the school. You brought resources and volunteers across the board. But we want to thank our seniors, our graduating seniors, Capolo, Stephen and Martha and Prince and Millie and Samantha and Vianney and I said Vanessa, who's not on here? Somebody wasn't here earlier. But Cole, we get to see you again next year, class of 2021. But it was very sad not to see you guys at the close of the year, or, you know, I was looking at pictures from the winter formal and I was like, well, I guess that was their prom. I'm glad you guys had a great time at your winter formal. But thank you guys for extending yourself past your graduation date. I am so impressed. I love the film. And I have to say, I went back to watch it and the music did the music was good. I like the fact that it really made me feel like I was in, the music made me feel like it was so appropriate and you guys running up the stairs. And so I knew it took the writing and the actors and the music and the boom people and the directors to make that happen. And you guys did a phenomenal job. You guys should be so proud. And to make sure you guys keep this as part of your resume, Joshua, make sure you get them all a copy so they can own their own copy or get it off of YouTube, whatever it is, but this is part of your legacy to where you guys go to the next step, regardless if it's medical, because there's still strategy and collaboration in the medical field. So no matter what you guys are doing, use this as part of your platform as you move forward and what you do with your life. But I want to say thank you. Thank you guys for letting me be a part of your lives. I am going to miss you guys terribly. Like, oh my goodness, so much. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Joshua. And you guys have a great day.
Thank you so much, Miss Kealing. We appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much, Mrs. Kealing.
Thank you, Miss Kealing.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
welcome.
Josh. Thank you to all
Thank you,
the.
Josh.
Yeah, before you hang up, I just wanted to also say, speaking of boom mics, I just wanted to say thank you to Sophia Franco. She's been with us from the start. She was doing that as well as my daughter, Madeline Chen. She did just a few boom sessions. But I think I can just say on behalf of all the mentors, we had a really great time working with y'all, and we're gonna miss you. And you guys are on to bigger, better, and brighter things. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Miss Fia Kealing.